Welcome to the 2300 Pick Six podcast. I'm your host, Dave Walker, about to do another edition of Where DWALK was right and Where DWALK was wrong, and also my top 10 teams for the month of September. Well, a lot of rights, some wrongs, and one push. So when we cross the push, I'll discuss that a little bit later in detail. But we're going to start with some rights and wrongs. The first one in the right and wrong was Seahawks Cardinals, which I got right picking the Seahawks. Jason Myers boots 52-yard field goal on final play, lifting Seahawks a 23-20 win over Cardinals. The Seahawks could have been shell-shocked, giving up a 14-point lead during the latter half of the fourth quarter and turning their comfortable advantage into a tie game with 33 seconds left. Seattle did have the lead in this game, but they almost blew this game. But they did come back and got the game-winning field goal because Jason Myers, they forget to mention that Jason Myers missed one field goal that almost could have changed the outcome of this game. But he got the other one where it mattered to prevent an overtime and getting the win in an NFC West that you're going to have a tough time winning in. Right now you have the Niners, even though they took a loss. I'll talk about that with Jacksonville later. The Rams got a win over Indianapolis. I'll talk about that game a little later. So right now you have three teams that are in contention for this division. Arizona right now, I don't know where they're going to be. They do not use Marvin Harrison Jr. the right way. I know he wants to say there's no chemistry. If I was Marvin Harrison Jr., try to request a trade and see if you could go somewhere to be in a winning team. Nothing against Kyler. I just don't see what's going on here. I don't see why they can't get him involved. I really don't see what the issue is here. This kid needs to get involved a lot more, and it could help the Arizona Cardinals where they are at right now. They're last in their division. But if they use him the right way, there's a possibility you could be in second place, or trying to fight for a wild card. We'll wait and see what happens with the Arizona Cardinals down the road. But a breakdown out of this game, Chad Reeland, 33-yard field goal. A.J. Barner, 16-yard pass from Sam Darnold. Zach Charbonnet, 1-yard rush. Jason Myers, 44-yard field goal. Chad Reeland, 57-yard field goal. Jason Myers, 31-yard field goal. Marvin Harrison Jr., 16-yard pass from Kyler Murray. Amar DeMarcado, 7-yard pass from Kyler Murray. Jason Myers, 50-yard field goal for the game winner. Leaders for the Seahawks with Sam Darnold, 18-26, 1 touchdown, and 242 yards. Kenneth Walker, the third, 19 carries, 81 yards. Jackson Smith and Jig before catches, 79 yards. Leading sacker was Uchenna Nusawa, and leading tackler was Devin Witherspoon with 5 solo ones and 9 tackles. For the Seahawks, they play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. For the Cardinals, their next opponent is the Tennessee Titans. Next game I got in the right and wrong is, this is a wrong, was Steelers-Viking, which I got wrong picking Minnesota. Steelers hold on for 24-21 win over Vikings in NFL's first regular season game in Ireland. Even though he's relatively new to the Pittsburgh Steelers, Aaron Rodgers fully understands the Rooney family's connection to the Emerald Isle. The Steelers picked up the win. They got their first international win. That they were the only team who had not gotten one yet. They did pull off the win. And right now, Steelers have been playing good football right now with, not the defense just yet. That's what the Steelers are mainly for Steelers defense. But Aaron Rodgers has been doing good so far. So far, he hasn't bitched and moaned yet, but pretty soon he will start bitching and moaning eventually. But we'll wait and see what occurs with him down the road and see how he's still in his best behavior. But the offense is getting involved with Gainwell, Warren, receivers too, with DK getting a little bit more involved. Now for Minnesota, well, the conversation would have been if Carson Wentz would have won this game, and let's say if he would have gone on a little bit of a streak, there's the possibility you would have kept him in. Now that he lost that game, okay, now do you decide to go back to J.J. McCarthy, or do you keep Carson in? Because right now in that division, you got to deal with Detroit, Green Bay, even though they did tie with Dallas. I'll wait till I get into that a little later. And Chicago. It's going to be a little tough sledding for the Vikings to get that NFC North. But wait and see what occurs down the road. But a breakdown of this game. Will Riker, 41-yard field goal. Kenneth Gainwell, 1-yard rush. DK Metcalf, 8-yard pass from Aaron Rodgers. Will Riker, 28-yard field goal. Kenneth Gainwell, 4-yard rush. Chris Boswell, 33-yard field goal. Xavier Scott, 16-yard pass from Carson Wentz. Carson pass to Jason Nair for the 2-point convert successful. Jalen Nair, 2-yard pass from Carson Wentz. Leaders for the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, 18-22, 200 yards and 1 touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell, 19 carries, 2 touchdowns, 99 yards. DK Metcalf, 5 catches, 126 yards and a touchdown. Leading sacker for the Steelers was Keanu Benton with 1.5 sacks, and leading tackler was Peyton Wilson with 8 solo ones and 13 tackles. Next one in the right and wrong is, Well, this one is wrong. Giants, Chargers, which I got wrong picking the Chargers. Dart's impressive debut leads Giants to first win over Chargers, but await word on Neighbors' injury. Brian Dable found a grinning Jackson Dart on the field for the New York Giants' first victory of the season, hugged the rookie quarterback around his neck, and then giving a big slap on the chest. I was shocked the Giants won this. Shout out to Wolf because he said this was a game that the Chargers would actually Charger in, and they did Charger in this game. So I don't know if charging has started to occur just yet, but we'll wait and see. Oh, sorry. Let's go back. I forgot to do who Minnesota's and Pittsburgh next opponents are. So I'm sorry. Before I talk back that in. Minnesota's next game is against the Cleveland Browns in London. As for the Steelers, their next game is against the Cleveland. They're actually on their bye week. They're on a bye week. So I'm sorry about that. Forget. Now back to the Giants and the Chargers. This was actually the game that my friend Wolf said that they would charge. Shout out to him. So he was right that this would be the game they actually chargered. And they did charger in this one. Now, I don't know if charging is going to start right now because right now Kansas City did win. When I talk about Ravens Chiefs, they did get a win. And right now they have some life still left in them. And Denver did win last night also too. So right now it's a little bit tough sledding for the hold on to first place in the division. Now you have to watch out for both Denver and Kansas City right now at this point. As for the Giants, very shocked I got the job done. Jackson Dart looked good in that game, but it did come at a cost with Malik Neighbors getting injured and him tearing his ACL. So Malik Neighbors, like I said, I don't like the Giants, not my team. Damn shame. I hope he gets better soon. I hope he comes back next year kicking ass as always. But it's a shame that he had to get injured and tore his ACL and his career had to end. But breakdown out of this game, Jackson Dart, 15-yard rush. Jude McAtney, 22-yard field goal. Cameron Dicker, 43-yard field goal. Jude McAtney, 31-yard field goal. Quentin Johnson, 36-yard pass from Justin Herbert. Theo Johnson, 3-yard pass from Jackson Dart. Cam Scadaboo, run for 2-point conversion successful. Amari and Hampton, 54-yard rush. Justin Herbert, run for 2-point conversion. No scoring in the fourth quarter. Leaders for the Giants, Jackson Dart, 13 of 20, 1 touchdown, 111 yards. Cam Scadaboo, 25 carries, 79 yards. Darius Slayton, 3 catches for 44 yards. Brian Burns, 1 sack, and leading tackler was Darius Masu with 6. Giants' next game is against the New Orleans Saints. As for the Chargers, their next game is against the Washington Commanders. A game they should bounce back. We'll wait and see when we get to that bridge. Next game in the right and wrong was Texans-Titans, which I got right, picking Houston. Texans dominate Titans 26-0 for the first win of the season. Houston's defense got its first shutout in almost 15 years, and the offense did the rest Sunday against the Tennessee Titans to give the Texans their first win of the season. This was more of the Texans, not the Titans. We've had 2 shutouts now in 2 weeks. Like I said before, the Titans are a young team. It's in a rebuild, but I was shocked they did not score any points in this, and there's really nothing I could say for the Titans. There's nothing there that I could use here. The Texans needed this win more because right now, if you would have gone 0-4, you would have been done, and there's the possibility you would have had Indy and Jacksonville on your heels right now. Now, there's a point you may have a little bit of breathing room. Indy did suffer their first loss, and I talk about when they took on the Rams. The Jaguars got an upset win, which nobody saw coming, and that was a shocker. So it's going to be right now for the Texans. They have a lot of problems they have to work out. And first, they got to get the offense going, and they got to get their defense going. They got to get some key guys back. Once they get those key pieces back, then there's the possibility they could win their division and make it to a playoffs as they have been in the past. But a breakdown out of this game, Kami Fairbairn's 47-yard field goal, Kami Fairbairn 43-yard field goal. There was no scoring in the third quarter. Woody Marks 12-yard pass from C.J. Stroud, 2-point conversion failed. Jaden Higgins 24-yard pass from C.J. Stroud. Woody Marks 18-yard rush. Leaders for the Texans, C.J. Stroud 22 of 28, 230 yards and 2 touchdowns. Woody Marks 17 carries, 69 yards, 1 touchdown. Nico Collins 4 catches for 79 yards. Leading sacker for the Texans was Danielle Hunter with 2 sacks, and leading tackler was Henry Toto with 2 solo ones and 5 tackles. For the Texans, their next opponent is against the Baltimore Ravens. For the Titans, they play up against the Arizona Cardinals. Next game I got right and wrong was Commanders Falcons, which I got right picking Atlanta because I did pick Washington and I changed my pick to Atlanta. Penix and Robinson have career best days to lead Falcons to 34-27 win over shorthanded Commanders. Falcons coach Raheem Morris didn't hesitate when he was asked when he saw something that confirmed his belief in Michael Penix Jr. after last week's disastrous loss to Carolina. Well, right now, Raheem Morris's job is on a stay of execution because I literally thought if they would have lost this game, there's the possibility he would be getting his walking papers, but I still have him on the hot seat of coaches of getting fired. But Atlanta pulled off the victory that they needed right now to try to catch pace with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who did suffer a loss against the Philadelphia Eagles. So right now, that division is a little bit up for grabs right now at the moment, but they got the job done using Brian Robinson the rest way. Michael Penix looked like how he was in week one, showing that bit of the flash. Now I'm hoping he can be consistent come next week. As for Washington, yes, they are shorthanded, and there are a lot of injuries. I don't know if Jaden Daniels is going to play in that Chargers game this Sunday. Austin Eckler's out the season with the torn ACL, and that defense got torched very badly. So it's going to be a little bit tough for Washington down the road to see what they do. But a breakdown out of this game, Parker Romo, 38-yard field goal. Drake London, 5-yard pass from Michael Penix Jr. Luke McCaffrey, 5-yard pass from Marcus Mariota. Bijan Robinson, 14-yard rush. Matt Gay, 43-yard field goal. Matt Gay, 52-yard field goal. Kyle Pitts Sr., 7-yard pass from Michael Penix Jr. Matt Gay, 41-yard field goal. Tyler Algier, 15-yard rush. Debo Samuel, 24-yard pass from Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota passes accurate, 2-point conversion successful. Parker Romo, 26-yard field goal. Matt Gay, 42-yard field goal. Leaders for the Falcons, Michael Penix, 20-26, 2 touchdowns, 313 yards, and 1 interception. Bijan Robinson, 17 carries, 1 touchdown for 75 yards. Drake London, 8 catches, 1 touchdown for 110 yards. Leading sacker was Zach Harrison with 1 sack, and leading tackler was Jesse Bates III with 4 solo ones and 7 tackles. For the Falcons, their next opponent is the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football. They have a bye this week. And for Washington, their next game is against the Chargers. Next game in the right and wrong was Bills Saints, which I got right picking the Bills. The only thing I got wrong, they didn't cover the spread. Josh Allen combines for 3 touchdowns, and Bills improved to 4-0 with 31-19 victory over winless Saints. With the outcome still in doubt midway through the fourth quarter and Buffalo facing third down at midfield, Bills defensive tackle Jordan Phillips consensus was Josh Allen's time. Yes, it is Josh Allen's time. Now, is his time is now, quote John Cena. Now, will he finally be able to win an AFC championship and finally get to the Super Bowl and finally win it all? That I don't know yet. Now, can the Bills get to perfection? Like I said, the Saints are not a good team. It's a very, very young team. Now, I don't know if they're going to get any wins. We don't know. We got a lot of football left. I don't know if they're going to squeeze out wins or not. But the Bills right now, everything working on front with Josh Allen, Coleman, Cook, Shakir, Kincaid, and that defense too. Now, are they going to go undefeated? I don't know right now because we have one of 2 teams that are undefeated, and which I'm going to talk about next after this game. Now, for the Bills, can they go undefeated? I don't know. Now, there are teams that could try to stop it, and I think maybe one is maybe the Chiefs right now, because right now the Chiefs are starting to get back what they were right now. Now that they have Xavier Worthy back, they're starting to get back to what they once were. Maybe they can. The other is Philadelphia, and that is like near the end of the season. That's like the final game before the finale of December. Because that could be a game of quest for perfection of the regular season. Who will go undefeated? Now, unfortunately, both cannot because you got to have only one undefeated team throughout the whole NFL, whoever wins the Super Bowl. But we'll wait and see when we cross the bridge, when we get to Buffalo and Philadelphia in December. But a breakdown out of this game. Khalil Shakir, 43-yard pass from Josh Allen. Kendrick Miller, 18-yard rush. James Cook, 1-yard rush. Blake Group, 54-yard field goal. Josh Allen, 5-yard rush. Chris Olave, 3-yard pass from Spencer Rattler. Blake Group, 35-yard field goal. Dalton Kincaid, 28-yard pass from Josh Allen. Matt Prater, 35-yard field goal. Leaders for the Bills. Josh Allen, 16-22. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 209 yards. James Cook, 22 carries, 117 yards and 1 touchdown. Khalil Shakir, 5 catches, 69 yards and 1 touchdown. Leading sacker for the Daquan Jones for the Bills, 1 sack. Leading tackler is Tre'Davious White with 7 tackles. For the Bills, their next opponent is against the New England Patriots on Sunday Night Football. For the Saints, their next game is against the New York Giants at home. Next game I got in the right and wrong is Eagles-Bucks, which I got wrong picking Tampa. Fake tush push and special teams touchdown helps Eagles beat Bucks 31-25 to stay undefeated. The Philadelphia Eagles don't need a tush push when the fake is even more effective. Yeah, they used the fake with Saquon Barkley. They didn't usually use Jalen in this one. The Eagles literally clicked in all cylinders in this game from the beginning when they blocked the punt and got a touchdown. Special teams have been doing it good for them. Defense has been doing good for them. And offense has been doing good for them. Now, like I said in that Bills game, can this team also go undefeated? Again, don't know, because there are two teams that could try to stop it. One, the Eagles do have to play the Detroit Lions down the road on Sunday Night Football. And then later on, they have to play the Bills at the end of December. So right now, I don't know if the Eagles are going to go undefeated. But I could say both things on the Eagles and Bills. Yes, both of these teams are going to make playoffs. Yes, both of these teams are going to probably make an NFC and an AFC championship. One, is either both of them going to win? We don't know. Let's stay tuned and see what happens down the road and find out. But right now, the Eagles have been playing good football and being very, very consistent. As for the Bucs, I thought Tampa was going to win this game due to the fact that the Eagles do not do good in Tampa Bay at times. But the Eagles have silenced the demon, and now Tampa did not expect them to lose, but now this was a little bit of a humble loss for them. They now bounce back and they go back to the drawing board where they have to deal with the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday and see if they can get back to what they were when they go back to Seattle. Now, they beat Seattle, then it was a bounce back. They lose to Seattle, then you've opened this door a little bit more wide for the Atlanta Falcons. But we're going to wait and see what occurs. Yeah, they don't have Mike Evans for a while due to the hamstring injury. They got Chris Godwin back because he was on a pitch count, but I don't think he's going to get a pitch count when they play against Seattle. So you have Godwin, Emeka, and Cade Otton. Once the moment that Mike Evans is back fully healthy, this offense is going to be a little bit dangerous for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But a breakdown out of this game. Sidney Brown, 35-yard return for a blocked punt. Dallas Goedert, 2-yard pass from Jalen Hurts. Chase McLaughlin, 42-yard field goal. Dallas Goedert, 5-yard pass from Jalen Hurts. Jake Elliott, 39-yard field goal. Chase McLaughlin, 65-yard field goal. Emeka Ejigbo, 77-yard pass from Baker Mayfield. Saquon Barkley, 6-yard rush. Bucky Irving, 17-yard pass from Baker Mayfield. Chase McLaughlin, 58-yard field goal. Kavavion Merriweather, safety. Leaders for the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, 15-24. 2 touchdowns, 130 yards. Leading rusher, Jalen Hurts, 9 carries, 62 yards. Dallas Goedert, 4 catches, 2 touchdowns for 37 yards. Zach Bond, 1 sack. And Cooper DeJean, 8 solo tackles and 9 tackles. For the Eagles, they play on Sunday against the Denver Broncos at home. For Tampa, they go to Seattle against the Seattle Seahawks. Next game I got right in the right and wrong is Lions-Browns, which I got right picking Detroit. Goff throws 2 touchdowns to St. Brown. Lions beat Browns 34-10 for third straight victory. Jared Goff connects with Amon Brown is so good, it helped the Detroit Lions overcome a relatively lackluster game of offense to rout the Cleveland Browns. Well, the reason being is because Cleveland actually does have a defense, and they have a number 1 defense. So they got tested by a good defense, but Detroit still got the job done on special team with Khalif Raymond, offense too with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Montgomery and Gibbs. It just wasn't the explosive firepower out it's usually been in the past. But they did get the win when it was very, very needed, trying to keeping pace with their division and keeping first place. Now, for Cleveland, they did put up a fight somewhat. Shocked they did not get killed, but that defense did try to hold in there, but could not get the job done, and then lost to the Detroit Lions. Still a young team. They got a lot to build off of, so we're going to wait and see what happens with the Cleveland Browns down the road. But a breakdown out of this game, Quinshon Judkins, 1-yard rush. Jahmyr Gibbs, 8-yard rush. Jake Bates, 48-yard field goal. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 2-yard pass from Jared Goff. Jake Bates, 58-yard field goal. Andre Smith, 33-yard field goal. Khalif Raymond, 65-yard punt return. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8-yard pass from Jared Goff. Leaders for the Lions, Jared Goff, 16-27, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Jahmyr Gibbs, 15 carries, 1 touchdown and 91 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7 catches, 70 yards for 2 touchdowns. Aiden Hutchinson, 2 sacks. Leading tackler for the Lions, Jack Campbell, with 11 tackles and 7 solo ones. For the Lions, they play the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday. For the Cleveland Browns, they play up against the Minnesota Vikings in London, England. Next game I got right in the right and wrong is Patriots Panthers, which I got right picking the Patriots. Marcus Jones, 87-yard punt return, touchdown sparked Patriots offense in 42-13 romp over Panthers. Almost nothing went right for the New England Patriots during their loss to Pittsburgh last week. No, it didn't. And in this week, the Patriots bounced back, got the win. It looked like Drake May looked good in this game. Right now, the Carolina Panthers is being back to being bipolar with Bryce Young because, again, you don't know which Bryce Young you're getting. Week 1, he loses against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Week 2, loses close to the Arizona Cardinals. Week 3, looks like he's Cam Newton and Jake Delhomme against the Atlanta Falcons. This week, it looked like he was going back to old Bryce. and the Patriots getting a win, which was needed. Yeah, I know they're 2-2, and it's going to be a little bit tough with their division because you got to deal with the Bills, and they have a tough one on Sunday Night Football against the Buffalo Bills. Now, I'm not saying they're going to pull up an upset, which is not going to happen here, but I think the Bills will beat them. Now, divisional battles sometimes go close. We'll wait and see what occurs between these two on Sunday Night Football. But leaders for the but a breakdown of this game: Tommy Tremble, 7-yard pass from Bryce Young. Ryan Fitzgerald, PAT fail. Marcus Jones, 87-yard punt return. Drake May, 5-yard rush. Trayvon Henderson, 5-yard rush. Antonio Gibson, 1-yard rush. Hunter Henry, 31 pass from Drake May. Mac Hollins, 4-yard pass from Drake May. Mitchell Evans, 2-yard pass from Andy Dalton. Leaders for the Patriots: Drake May, 14-17, 203 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ramondre Stevenson, 9 carries for 38 yards. Stephon Diggs, 6 catches for 101 yards. Leading sacker for the Patriots was Kalavian Chazon, 1 sack. And leading tackler for the Patriots was Jack Gibbons with 12 tackles and 8 solo ones. For the Patriots, they play against the Buffalo Bills on Sunday Night Football. For the Panthers, they play up against the Miami Dolphins on Sunday. Oh, no, they have a bye. They're on a bye week. So the 5th. Yeah, so they play. Yeah, so yeah, it's a Sunday they play. So yeah, they play them on Sunday. Next game I got right and wrong is Jaguars 49ers, which I got wrong picking the 49ers. Jaguars beat 49ers 26-21. Washington's punt return, touchdown, and 4 takeaways. With the way the defense and special teams are playing for Jacksonville the opening month of the season, the Jaguars are able to keep pulling out wins, even if Trevor Lawrence and the offense are yet operating at peak efficiency. No, the Jags offense has not been operating at efficiency just yet. The Jags have been messing up in games right now. Not messing up in games, but the offense hasn't done it, but the defense and special teams has been able to bail them out in games and helping keep pace with the Indianapolis Colts. But it's going to be a little tough slang because if its offense doesn't get good, you're going to be letting the Indianapolis Colts win the division or possibly let Houston come back. Now, I don't know what is going to occur when this happens down the road. For the 49ers, a game that I thought that they were going to win, you had Brock Purdy back. I don't know if they rushed Brock back. You should have maybe had Mac Jones back in for one more game. But with this was the win that they could have gotten. And now you're in a tie with the Rams for your division. We'll wait and see what happens with the 49ers down the road. Breakdown of this game: Eddie Pinheiro, 26-yard field goal. Travis Etienne Jr., 48-yard rush. Hunter Long, 4-yard pass from Trevor Lawrence. Eddie Pinheiro, 23-yard field goal. Cam Little, 26-yard field goal. Christian McCaffrey, 8-yard pass from Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy pass from Juwan Jennings for 2-point conversion. Cam Little, 44-yard field goal. Parker Washington, 87-yard punt return, 2-point conversion failed. Jake Tongs, 20-yard pass from Brock Purdy. Leaders for the Jaguars: Trevor Lawrence, 21-31, 1 touchdown, 174 yards. Travis Etienne Jr., 19 carries, 124 yards, and 1 touchdown. Brian Thomas Jr., 5 catches, 49 yards. Leading sackler was for Eric Armstead with 1 sack for the Jags, and leading tackler was Tyson Campbell with 4 solo ones and 9 tackles. For the Jaguars, their next opponent is against the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. As for the San Francisco 49ers, their next opponent is against the LA Rams on Thursday Night Football. Next game I got right and wrong is Rams-Colts, which I got right picking the Rams. Tutu Atwell makes a late 88-yard touchdown catch, and Rams rally past Colts 27-20 after Mitchell's fumble. Tutu Atwell hasn't received many opportunities to make big plays in 5 seasons with the Los Angeles Rams. He knew he finally had a chance Sunday when he looked over his shoulder to see Matthew Stafford perfect spiraling toward him, and the speed receiver pulled it and took it all the way home. Yes, he did. So there are other weapons for the Rams besides Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Tutu Atwell, who we haven't heard from as much, I think is a very underrated receiver. He got the job done. Now, this game was neck and neck between these two teams. The Colts tried to put up a fight, but in the end, Daniel Jones did what Daniel Jones does best, threw an interception, and that's caused the game to end. Now, I'm going to say this on the Colts. They did lose close, and I know people don't believe in moral victories. I don't believe, but this is more of a moral victory for them. So right now for the Colts, they can build off of this loss and bounce back and to see where they go from here. Now, if they lose next Sunday, then we're going back to same old Colts. And then this start was just a fluke, and you can only beat bad teams. But we saw you hang in there with the Rams. Now, for the Rams, they bounced back from that ugly loss to Philadelphia, a win that they needed. They got the job done on offense and on defense, and Tutu Atwell making the crucial play that was needed to get the game winner. Now for the Rams, they have a tough one and a key divisional matchup on Thursday Night Football for first place in their division. Let's see what happens when they play the 49ers. As for the Colts, They have a matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders in a game that they should win and bounce back from. But we'll wait and see what occurs there. But a breakdown out of this game: Joshua Carty, 42-yard field goal. Spencer Schrader, 52-yard field goal. Tyler Warren, 2-yard rush. Joshua Carty, 37-yard field goal. Devontae Adams, 10-yard pass from Matthew Stafford. Michael Pittman Jr., 2-yard pass from Daniel Jones. Spencer Schrader, 30-yard field goal. Puka Nacua, 9-yard pass from Matthew Stafford. Tupu Patwell, 80-yard pass from Matthew Stafford. Leaders for the Rams: Matthew Stafford, 29-41, 30 touchdown, 375 yards. Kyron Williams, 13 carries, 77 yards. Puka Nacua, 13 catches, 1 touchdown for 170 yards. Jarrett Verse, 1 sack, and leading tackler was Cam Curl with 3 solo tackles and 9 tackles. For the Rams, they play on Thursday night against the San Francisco 49ers. As for the Colts, they play up against the Las Vegas Raiders. Next game I got right and wrong is Chiefs-Ravens, which I got wrong picking the Ravens. Mahomes shines for Chiefs. Jackson adds to Ravens' injury woes as Kansas City rolls to 37-20 victory. The Kansas City Chiefs are getting healthier, deeper, and more dynamic as the season presses on. Yeah, they are. They got Xavier Worthy back because he was coming back from injury, and this literally helped them what they needed right now because they needed everything they needed to get back in this game. And now that they are back at full strength, they need everyone they can get right now to get back their division and to see if they can make another playoffs. But we'll wait and see what occurs for them down the road and see what they do against the Jaguars next Monday night on Monday Night Football. If they can get this win and try to get back to what they were, which I still think the Chiefs are going to make the playoffs. I don't see them getting a 1 seed, but they are still going to be making the playoffs. As for the Ravens, there are a lot of injuries right now. They have a lot of injuries on the defensive side of the ball with their corners, and there are a lot of now they have an offensive injury on the side of the ball because right now Lamar Jackson's questionable. He's going to play this Sunday against the Houston Texans. I don't know if he is going to be in. Now, if it is not him, it is going to be Cooper Rush. Now, Cooper Rush was good with Dallas when there was a defense. Right now, Baltimore has every injury known to man. And if it is Cooper Rush, I don't think they're going to squeak by with a victory. Now, if it's Lamar, yeah, you're going to squeak by with a victory, but you barely may make it out of Houston. But we'll wait and see what occurs if they do. But a breakdown out of this game: Justice Hill, 11-yard pass from Lamar Jackson. Harrison Butker, 38-yard field goal. Harrison Butker, 23-yard field goal. Juju Smith-Schuster, 4-yard pass from Patrick Mahomes. Isaiah Pacheco, 8-yard pass from Patrick Mahomes. Tyler Loop, 43-yard field goal. Tyquan Thornton, 11-yard pass from Patrick Mahomes. Tyler Loop, 32-yard field goal. Harrison Butker, 31-yard field goal. Hollywood Brown, 15-yard pass from Patrick Mahomes. Justice Hill, 71-yard rush. Now, also, Justice Hill was used a lot. Derrick Henry was not used a lot in this game. If you don't get Derrick Henry used the right way and don't get him running, then you're going to have even more problems. And then Baltimore is going to be not making the playoffs here. So you've got to use and utilize him more because if Lamar Jackson is out this Sunday against Houston, you're going to have to rely on Derrick Henry to try to get the job done and rely on him a lot more. But a breakdown out of this game: Patrick Mahomes, 25 of 37, 4 touchdown for 270 yards. Xavier Worthy, 2 carries, 38 yards. Xavier Worthy, 5 catches for 83 yards. Leading tackler was Jerry Tillery with 1 sack, and leading tackler was Drew Tranquill with 7 tackles and 4 solo tackles. For the Chiefs, they play on Monday Night Football against the Jacksonville Jaguars. For the Ravens, the next game is against the Houston Texans. Next game I got right and wrong is Bears-Raiders, which I got wrong picking the Raiders. Josh Blackwell blocks field goal to preserve Bears rally for 25-24 victory win over Raiders. In the end, the Bears win over the Raiders came down to Josh Blackwell getting a hand on a field goal attempt. Blackwell field goal blocked the Raiders field goal. The Raiders did not get the win. The Bears got out of here with an ugly win, so they did pull it off. So it was not just because it was the Dallas Cowboys defense. So this was a win there. It wasn't a definitive of the signature. It wasn't pretty. It was ugly. They got it where they needed was most to try to keep pace with the Detroit Lions and with the Minnesota Vikings and with the Green Bay Packers. So right now they're trying to do their best to fight in their division and try to get a playoff spot down the road and see what would occur. As for the Raiders, young team, they do Raider things. You got Geno Smith. Wasn't much of an answer here. Ashton Genty looked like he was doing good in that game. Didn't look like he was a bust, but he was struggling throughout the whole game. But now it looks like, okay, we're going to see what the Raiders can do if this defense can do anything. But a breakdown out of this game. Cairo Santos, 46-yard field goal. Ashton Genty, 8-yard pass from Geno Smith. Cairo Santos, 43-yard field goal. Ashton Genty, 64-yard rush. Cairo Santos, 52-yard field goal. Romeo Dunze, 27-yard pass from Caleb Williams. Ashton Genty, 9-yard pass from Geno Smith. Carlos Santos, 51-yard field goal. Daniel Carlson, 29-yard field goal. DeAndre Swift's 2-yard rush. 2-point conversion field. Leaders for the Bears, Caleb Williams, 22 at 37, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for 212 yards. DeAndre Swift, 14 carries, 1 touchdown for 38 yards. Romo Dunze, 4 catches, 1 touchdown for 69 yards. No sacks by the Bears. And leading tackler was Tremaine Edmonds with 11 tackles and 6 solo ones. For the Bears, their next opponent is against the – I'm trying to pull that up right now. They have a bye week, will be against the Washington Commanders. And as for the Raiders, their next opponent is against the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday. Next game I got right and wrong is Cowboys-Packers. Technically, that was a draw, so there will not be a button for that. So that is a push because I did pick Green Bay, so that is a push. Micah Parsons' hype return to Dallas ends with Cowboys and Packers in 40-40 tie. Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott both said winning was the only thing that mattered, and the Green Bay pass rushers hype return to Dallas to face the Cowboys and their franchise quarterback. Well, neither one got what they wanted because it was a tie, and a tie is a draw, and usually the old expression of a tie is you have just kissed your sister, as awkward as it is. You don't win anything. You don't lose anything. It's just plain awkward. But both of these teams put up a fight, but it was not enough, even though at 1 second left, the Packers got that field goal to tie the game in overtime and to literally push for a tie. Now, for the Cowboys, the defense is still horrible. It's still bad, but they need to get some pieces on that defense to get it working. The offense is not looking bad with George Pickens. Even with CeeDee Lamb out for a while, George Pickens looked like a stud in that game. Your running game looks good. You have your good and your tight ends. But once Lamb comes back, you might be able to get more out of this. For Green Bay, you have something in Romeo Doubs. He looks very, very good. Jordan Love looked good, and Tucker Kraft, and even in Josh Jacobs, your running back. But right now, both of these teams now, I know the Cowboys are not making playoffs, and I said that earlier. That tie might not help, might not do any bad for them because this is a team that's not going anywhere. So a tie is not going to do any damage to them because I already said they're not making the playoffs. For the Packers, that tie could hurt them in the long run due to a playoff seeding, meaning division-wise, I don't think you're going to win your division against in the NFC North. I don't think you're going to get that. I think Detroit's going to take that division. Secondly is your seeding-wise, you may not be able to get a 6. You may be at a 7. And there's the possibility you may have to play either Philly or Detroit in a wild card. And your 6 could possibly maybe be Minnesota or maybe even Washington or whomever else yet. I don't know yet, but we'll wait and see what occurs down the road when we get to a playoff picture. I'll break down this game, but there were no leaders, so I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to just break down this game. Here's how the breakdown was. Romeo Doubs, 2-yard pass from Jordan Love. Romeo Doubs, 1-yard pass from Jordan Love. Marquise Bell, defensive PAT conversion. Dak Prescott, 2-yard run. George Pickens, 15-yard pass from Dak Prescott. Josh Jacobs, 1-yard run. Jake Ferguson, 8-yard pass from Dak Prescott. Josh Jacobs, 18-yard run. Javonte Williams, 1-yard run. Romeo Doubs, 15-yard pass from Jordan Love. George Pickens, 28-yard pass from Dak Prescott. Brandon McManus, 35-yard field goal. Brandon Aubrey, 22-yard field goal in overtime. And Brandon McManus, 34-yard field goal in overtime, which was the tie. There are no leaders because there was no winner in this, so I'm not going to give a breakdown of that for who was the leaders in all this. Next game in the right and wrong is Dolphins-Jets, which I got right picking the Dolphins. The game that the Dolphins needed did not have to go 0-4, start off 0-4. They got the win was needed, but it came at a cost with Tyreek Hill getting injured. Tyreek Hill did not pull an Earl Thomas, thank God. What that means is back in 2018, I don't know who the Seahawks were playing, if it was the Cardinals or the Lions. Earl Thomas got injured and flipped off the Seahawks bench when he got carted off and literally signed his own walking papers. Now, I know that Tyreek Hill was very disgruntled and very angry, but at least he did not flip off the Dolphins bench. I don't know what will happen with him in the offseason if the Dolphins decide to trade him off or if he is going to stay there. But right now, that sweepstakes of him getting traded to the Chiefs has officially now got nixed due to him being injured. But the Dolphins got the win. But they did look good with Hill, with the Kane, with Darren Waller. The Jets almost did make a comeback, but costly penalties did not help them. And with Garrett Wilson causing OPI, cost them as well too. But a breakdown out of this game. Riley Patterson, 47-yard field goal. Darren Waller, 4-yard pass from Tua Tagovailoa. Oh, I forgot to say the Packers on Sunday play up again. I forgot who. I know the Cowboys play the Jets on Sunday. The Packers' next game is against the Cincinnati Bengals, but that is on their bye week, so they have a bye. But again, back to this game. Sorry, going back to Jets Dolphins here. Breakdown of this game was Riley Patterson, 47-yard field goal. Darren Waller, 4-yard pass from Tua Tagovailoa. Nick Polk, 58-yard field goal. Darren Waller, 9-yard pass from Tua Tagovailoa. Justin Fields, 43-yard rush. Devin Akane, 9-yard rush. Nick Polk, 50-yard field goal. Riley Patterson, 36-yard field goal. Garrett Wilson, 23-yard pass from Justin Fields. Justin Fields run for 2-point conversion successful. Leaders for the Dolphins with Tua Tagovailoa, 17-25, 2 touchdowns, 177 yards. Devin Akane, 20 carries, 1 touchdown, 99 yards. Tyreek Hill, leading receiver, 6 catches for 67 yards. Leading sack was Russell Douglas with 1 sack, and leading tackler for the Dolphins was Jordan Brooks with 15 solo tackles and 18 tackles. For the Dolphins, their next opponent is against the Carolina Panthers. For the Jets, they play against the Dallas Cowboys. And the last game that I got in the right and wrong was Broncos-Bengals, which I got right picking the Denver Broncos. Broncos look good in this game with their defense and their offense. This was mostly of the defense, and I know that Joe Burrow is not there, and I'm not making an excuse for Cincinnati right now. Their season is done without Joe Burrow. They're going to be cooked. I don't know if they're going to win any more games because they can only muster up 3 points, but Denver's offense literally was clicking, and Cincinnati's defense could not do anything to stop them. And the Broncos defense was literally on point on Chase Browning and the whole Cincinnati offense because they held Jamar Chase and T. Higgins in check. And right now, if I were the Cincinnati Bengals, if I were them, try to make a trade and try to trade a pickoff to either get Russell Wilson or possibly Kirk Cousins to see if you can get a competent backup in to try to see if you can try to get a wild card spot. I don't think you're going to get your division because right now, Pittsburgh and Baltimore will be fighting for that division. And I don't know what's going to happen down the road with the Bengals down the road. But a breakdown out of this game. Evan McPherson, 26-yard field goal. Bo Nix, 6-yard rush. Marvin Mims Jr., 16-yard rush. Cortland Sutton, 20-yard pass from Bo Nix. R.J. Harvey, 12-yard pass from Bo Nix, and there was no scoring in the third quarter. Leaders for the Broncos, Bo Nix, 29-42, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception for 326 yards. J.K. Dobbins, 16 carries for 101 yards. Cortland Sutton, 5 catches, 1 touchdown for 81 yards. Leading sacker was Nick Bonito with 1.5 sacks, and leading tackler was Alex Singleton with 6 solo and 11 tackles. For the Denver Broncos, they play in Philadelphia. For the Bengals, their next game is against the Detroit Lions. Next thing I'm going to do is my top 10, which is for the month of September, meaning if you win or lose, you will make my list. So I'm going to start off with the 10. Number 10 on my list was the New England Patriots. They got to win a little bit right now. I don't know who their quarterback will be down the road. I know my friend Wolf wants either Dylan Gabriel or Tommy Cutlett. If Drake May screws up now, I don't know what's going to happen in that Bills game. If they get killed by the Bills, there's a possibility you might see Tommy Cutlett or Dylan Gabriel in that game. We'll wait and see. Number 9 is the Kansas City Chiefs. Right now, the Chiefs are starting to look like how they were back in midseason form. They've gotten everybody back. They're back at full strength. They now have everybody healthy. Now, I do think they need to make a move to get another receiver. Now, if I were the Chiefs, I would try to make a trade see if you could try to get Marvin Harrison Jr., see if you can, I don't know what you can offer the Arizona Cardinals or another receiver I'll give. This is my opinion I'm going to bring up is Garrett Wilson. Because even with the Jets, I know the Jets have had their trouble, but if I were them, he's young. Ship him off to somewhere to win. I would ship Garrett Wilson. If I were Garrett Wilson, try to request a trade and see if you can go there. Number 8 is the Chicago Bears. The Bears, I thought, was because of the win over the Cowboys, because of that defense. The Bears did get the win when it needed the most by blocking the field goal on the Las Vegas Raiders. Looking like an 8. They got a lot more to come. Now, can they get some more momentum? They're on a 2-game win streak right now. Can they get some momentum and they can beat some good teams? Then we can move them down the list a little bit more, and we'll wait and see. Number 7 is the Atlanta Falcons. For the Falcons, right now, Michael Penix is looking like how he was in week 1, showing a little bit of the flash. But I need this to be consistent. It can't be week 2. You don't show up. Even though you still got that win in Minnesota, week 3, you didn't show up at all. But now you have to show up consistently and see if you can get the job done to see if, yes, can the Atlanta Falcons finally get a good winning record and finally make a wild card over so many years that they haven't had one since Matt Ryan was the quarterback. Number 6 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. So far, Aaron Rodgers hasn't bitched and moaned just yet. He's been playing outstanding football. They got to get a little bit of work on that offense because they have no run game with Jalen Warren. They don't have Najee because Najee's in with the LA Chargers. But we got to wait and see what they can do. They've gotten DK Metcalf working the right way and moved. But we got to see how this defense does because right now Pittsburgh has been prodigized on their defense. And right now we haven't seen the Steelers defense just yet. We're going to wait and see how the Steelers do in this. Tied for fifth are the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to go Denver first. Denver getting an impressive win last night over Cincinnati because even though the Bengals don't have a quarterback, but that defense has been doing very, very well. They're getting that job done, winning them games, and the offense is also doing very well. They're going to be in a tough test this Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles. But we'll wait and see who I make my pick for tomorrow, who will win that game. For Seattle, they made my list. Getting wins with Sam Darnold looking good. Now, Sam Darnold doesn't go to sleep in late games and heroics, and he can be back how he was with the season with the Vikings. We'll see how he does. Now, playoff-wise, I don't know. He shit the bed in his first one. We'll see how he does if the Seattle Seahawks make the playoffs. We're going to wait and see what occurs there. But they have everything going with Kenneth Walker III, Charbonnet, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Tied for fourth place are the Buccaneers and the Jaguars. Yes, even though Tampa did lose that game against Philadelphia, Baker Mayfield was playing outstanding football. The Bucs were winning games very, very close. Now, right now, they're a little bit of a setback right now with Mike Evans being injured. They have Emeka and they have Chris Godwin back, and you have Cade Otton. And you also have Sterling Shepard because he's been doing good as well, too. But we're going to wait and see how they do. Now, if they bounce back against Seattle, then it was just, hey, you got humbled by the Philadelphia Eagles. But if you lose to Seattle, then we're going to have to start looking at Tampa Bay in a little bit of a different picture and see what the hell's going on here. Jacksonville Jaguars at number 4, too. The Jags have been playing very expensive football, even though right now their offense hasn't gotten efficient just yet, but their defense and special teams have been keeping them in games. Now, Trevor Lawrence can get the ball rolling with them, and this Jaguar offense can be very good with Brian Thomas, with Travis Hunter, with Travis Etienne. We can see what they can do. But right now, they're doing very, very well right now. They're tied with first with the Indianapolis Colts. Number 3, the LA Rams. The Rams coming off that ugly loss to Philadelphia bounced back and showed that why they were leading their division and doing everything in their power to fight to get back to another playoffs and to fight for their division. Right now, you have a good defense in Jarrett Verse. The offense is looking good with Kyron Williams, with Puka Nacua, with Devontae, and also a hidden gem in Tutu Atwell. Now, if they could use all three of these the right way, then you can move up to your division and see how far you can go, maybe farther in a playoffs, maybe to a championship. The farthest the Rams have gone is to a divisional. Number 2, the Detroit Lions. The Lions have been looking good, still playing Lions football as always with Dan Campbell, Jared Goff looking good, even though the Browns had a defense and they held them in check, but they have other weapons with Khalif Raymond on special team. You still have the 1-2 combination of Montgomery and Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jameson Williams. And eventually, can you get Sam Laporta to have a breakout game? Laporta hasn't broken out just yet, and I know it's still early, but I do see Laporta is going to have a breakout game eventually. I just don't know when, but he will have his breakout game. Tied for first are the Bills and the Philadelphia Eagles. It's tough to decide between these two because both have been playing very, very good football. For the Bills, week 1, they made that impressive comeback against the Baltimore Ravens. Since then, they've been able to close out games, haven't been in situations where they had to make a comeback. For the Eagles, they've been playing very, very well, offense and defense. But I'm going to say the one Achilles heel that the Eagles have is their secondary and letting all these long passes get in. And it's going to hurt them maybe in the long run. Now, I don't know if I were the Eagles, when the trade deadline comes, try to make a move for somebody in your secondary, safety, cornerback, whatever it is. Make a move to help that there because that gets exposed. It could be a little bit of a problem down the road in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. But we're going to wait and see how these teams do if it crosses that point. Well, it's just been enough time for talk. It's time for kickoff. I'm Dave Walker, and we'll see you on the field. Good night, everybody.